I couldn't sleep tonight. There's a kind of silence in Uncle Jack's house. Thick, heavy, like it settles on your chest and won't let go. Sometimes it feels like even time moves slower here. I got up, pulled on my boots, and stepped outside. Tichui. Sky was a blanket of stars, the kind you don't see from the city, and that's when I saw him, Jack, sitting at the edge of the fire pit, still as stone. Just the glow of his pipe lighting the edge of his face like a coal. I walked up slow, asked softly, "Uncle Jack, what are you doing out here this late?" He didn't look at me, just said,
"Every night I come out here, so the stars can have a look at me too."
I didn't say anything. There was something in that line that crawled down my spine, but I let it be. Not tonight. I told him I wanted to keep reading the letters. My head hadn't stopped spinning since the last one. He just nodded, like he'd been expecting that. I walked to the chest, that cracked leather trunk where all the letters from the cellar are kept, and pulled one at random. The cover was stained, but the name still showed, written in faded black ink, Dry Creek. My throat tightened. I'd heard that name before. A town no one ever finds twice. A story more whispered than told. I opened the letter.
"You know, Dave, when a church stops ringing its bell, the world loses a little bit of its rhythm. Saw a whole town go quiet once. Words dried up right alongside the bell. That wasn't forgetting. That was choice. Thing is, some places don't like being remembered, and if you keep poking at them, they find a way to make you stop. Never trust a place where sound dies before it hits your ear. And if you ever hear a bell, one that shouldn't be ringing, turn your eye back and walk fast."
Dry Creek, July 14th, 1968. Ben. I arrived a week ago. The road out here is a scar through the desert. No signs, no turns, just a straight line into nowhere. Dry Creek appeared like a mirage, frozen in time. Low houses, cracked sidewalks, and 3 churches, lined up like stone sentries. The woman who rented me the room is mute, literally. She just hands me notes, written in a slanted old-fashioned script. They gave me the primary school to run. 10 students, all pale, all quiet, like they're waiting for something, but don't know what. On the 4th night, it happened. Was in my room, fighting the heat with a rolled-up newspaper, when the bells rang, all 3, together. It wasn't like any bell I've heard. It was long, deep, like it came from underground. Then, nothing. No wind, no crickets, not a single word from the townsfolk the next day, like no one heard it at all. But I heard it, Ben. I swear I did.
Wait a second. She says all 3 churches rang in the middle of the night and no one reacted? Sounds more like a heat stroke hallucination or mass delusion.
"Keep reading, boy. Still a lot of dust left in that desert."
Dry Creek. Maybe the 18th or 19th. I'm not sure anymore. Ben, I tried to leave today. Didn't tell anyone. Not that I trust them. Took the car before sunrise, down the only dirt road heading south. I drove for hours. No turns, no tire tracks. Just sand and sky, but somewhere along the way, I started yawning. Not regular tired, like my whole body was being pulled back into itself. I woke up hours later, in the same room, car parked right out front. On the table was a basket of warm bread and a note, just a dream, wake up for breakfast. But I didn't write that, and the woman who lives here doesn't speak. In the mirror, I saw something different, a thin mark behind my ear, like a scar, freshly closed. Ben, I wouldn't have remembered I even tried to leave if I hadn't found a note stuffed in my own shoe, my handwriting, signed with my full name. At school, one of the boys, Peter, drew a picture of me, with my eyes covered. When I asked why, he said, "That's what happens to the ones who try to leave." I think I'm losing time, but something keeps me here. Something watches me when the bells go quiet.
This is getting weirder by the minute. Marks behind her ear? Induced amnesia? This isn't just psychological. There's physical manipulation here.
Sometimes, Dave, for a town to let someone go, it has to cut the string that ties a soul to itself. And once that string's gone, you don't know anymore who wanted out and who was born there.
Have you ever seen anything like that before?
Dry Creek, moonless night. Ben, this may be the last thing I write. If I'm lucky, if I disappear, let someone find this. I've learned why the bells ring. Or part of it. There's a bell no one talks about. It doesn't belong to any church. It hangs in the shut-down chapel on the West Hill, where the old train tracks sank into the dirt decades ago. The door was boarded up, marked with strange symbols, crossed-out eyes, like they were saying, "Don't look." Last night, I waited. For silence, took a lantern, a rope, and a heartbeat I couldn't calm. The stairs groaned like they were in pain. At the top, I found it, the bell. Black, cracked, but pulsing. Yes, Ben, it pulsed, like a heart buried in iron. Around it, marks, like hands, pressed from the inside, trying to hold it back. Then the whispers started. Not behind me, inside my head. They begged me, "Don't ring it." But there was another voice, softer. "If you ring it, maybe you'll remember. Maybe you'll wake up." I pulled the rope. The sound wasn't human, wasn't mechanical. It was alive, a note that sliced the air like bone on bone. The town lights flickered, windows slammed shut, and for 1 second, I saw it. What Dry Creek truly is, or was, a cell, an altar, a place of forgetting, built around a heart that won't stop beating. I'm locked in now, writing as fast as I can. If you find me, don't try to make me remember. And if you hear the bell, run. It doesn't want you gone. It wants you inside.
My God, she saw something. Something beyond reality. That bell, it's not just a bell. It's like a core, a living thing trapped in there.
Sometimes, son, a bell don't call folks to service. It is the prayer, and that town, it don't pray to any god you've ever met.
Ben, I think today is the last day, or maybe the first, of something that doesn't end. I woke up with marks on my palms, the writing on the walls. It's changing. He's awake. The town is too quiet. No one speaks. No one blinks. The children at school all repeat the same line. The bell has rung. Now, do you remember? But I don't, Ben. I don't remember. All I know is I'm not alone in here anymore. Something's split my mind. It feels like part of me is writing this, and the other part is just watching. I've hidden this letter beneath the loose floorboard by the window. If you found it, run and burn everything. If you ever reach Dry Creek, don't listen to the bell. With love, Lydia.
She knew she wasn't getting out, and still, she wrote it all down, so someone would remember.
And still, no one does, Dave. No one, except you now.
But if she hid the letter, someone must have found it, brought it all the way to your cellar. How?
Some things come back on their own, when they miss being read.
Uncle Jack, what if Dry Creek is still out there? I mean, what if the town still exists, somewhere off the map, or just beyond it? Have you ever tried to find it? Have you ever heard that bell?
I don't need to find Dry Creek, Dave. When the time comes, it finds me.
You heard it too, didn't you?
Or maybe, Dave, it wasn't looking for me. Maybe it was looking for you.
They were fishermen, 2 of them, out on the water near Bell's Crossing. They said it started with ripples. Then came the eyes, watching from just beneath the surface, never blinking. The strange part? There were drag marks on the riverbank, like something had pulled them in, and the last line of the letter, the one that still echoes in my head. I can hear the voice now too.